All right, so everyone should have a sheet of paper that looks like the one on the screen. So it says math and it has a point at the top. At this time, I need you all to take a few seconds and take out a ruler. If you don't have one, there is one in the second drawer of your cubby. But everyone is going to need a ruler. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to do that. All right, on Thursday, we talked about dilations and how a dilation, once a scale factor is applied to a point, can either enlarge or reduce. So we're going to take this word math and we are going to enlarge it by 3. I'm going to walk you through the steps on how to do this, but you're going to be doing this on your own. So this point up here is our center of dilation. This is where we're going to do our measurements from. Okay. We also need to find points on our word in order to dilate. So I'm going to help you through this. We're going to put points on all of the ends of the word. So you can kind of see I've added some points. There is going to be one here and here. It's just hard to see on the paper. So go ahead and take a second and you're going to add points to the ends of the word math. And as you're doing that, if you remember from Thursday, the distance from the center of dilation to this point will be similar to the distance from the center of dilation to the new point based on the scale factor that we use. Okay? And actually I have our notes in front of us, so I'm going to throw this up on the screen real quick. So it's similar to this problem where we had the center of dilation and then the distance to P prime and the center of dilation and the distance to P. The scale factor is applied, so while they're not the exact same distance, they are similar because of scale factor. Okay, so we're going to do that same thing. So you're going to take your ruler, and hopefully we all know how to use a ruler, and I'm going to turn a little bit so I can draw. And where your 0 is, I'm going to place that in the center of that point, and I'm going to have it go through my first dot, and I would do this in pencil if I were you. I'm doing it in pen so you can see, but I would do it in pencil. So I have the 0 in the center of this first dot, and it's going through, let me fix it a little bit more. It's going through this point here for M, and I'm just going to draw in a line that goes off the paper. Okay? Now you're going to do that for every single point you have. So start in the center and draw a line. I'm not going to do all of them, but you eventually will. Okay, so start in the center of this point at 0 and draw on a line. Okay, so you're going to have a lot of lines eventually on your paper. Okay, so that's the first step. So I want you to stop drawing lines. You're going to continue later, so you're eventually going to have one. Well, if you notice this one, based on how I did it, these points happen to be on the same line, so I may not have to do as many. But theoretically, you'll have one for every point you drew on here, okay, including these 2 side points and these 2 side points on the A and H. Okay, so here's where you have to be precise with your ruler. You need to measure the distance from the center of dilation to this first point. Okay, the center of dilation to that first point. And yours should be the same as mine, and I'm getting 1.5. Okay, I'm getting 1.5. So figure out where that is on your ruler, and we are going to multiply by 3. Okay, by 3. So I'm going to take my 0 and place it here. and figure out where 1.5 is. And I'm going to just put a little tiny little dot. Okay, you can barely see it. It's right here, because I want to then move my ruler to that point and go 1.5 again, and here is my new point. Okay. So if you actually want to do the math, 1.5 was our distance from the center of dilation to that point on M. And if we multiply it by 3, we should now have 4.5. So if I look at my ruler, let me measure it back up. I'm at 4.5. Okay, if you don't want to do the calculations, let's go through it one more time. So you're going to measure from the center to your point, which is at 1.5. We're going to move it down 1 and put a point at 1.5. And we're going to do it again at 1.5. And this is our main point for M. Okay, I'm going to do the second one with you, but theoretically what should happen is it should line up straight here, right? Because it goes straight down. It might be tilted a little bit based on the way M is, so it may be a little bit more like that, but let's see where that point lands. So we've already drawn in our line. We're going to place our 0 at the center. Okay, and it looks like I am right at, hold on, I need to move closer. Yeah, I'm right at 2. Okay, yours might be a little different depending on, actually I'm right in between 2 and 1/16. Yours might be a little different depending on where you placed your ruler. Okay, but I'm going to measure based on mine, so everyone take their ruler, figure out where their measurement is. We're going to place it once with a little dot. And then move it again to get your second point. So you can kind of see I have a little bit of red. But again, you're doing this in pencil, so that just in case you mess up, you can fix it. Now, because we want everything to be accurate, you are going to connect these 2 points with a ruler. I do not want to see squiggly lines. Okay, you're going to keep going, and you're going to do it for every point. Math should then be blown up with a scale factor of 3. Okay, so you're going to take your time and you're going to do this neatly and nicely. If it takes you the period, that's fine. But you need to make sure that you are measuring correctly, you are drawing all the lines in straight. This will be turned in. Depending on how well you work, it may be turned in at the end of the period if you're not working. If you are working and you need a little bit more time to finish, we'll let you take it home and you can finish for homework. If you finish early, I do have an extra credit assignment for you. Even if you don't finish early, make sure you pick up that extra credit assignment because it will be due tomorrow at the very beginning of class. So you'll have this and the extra credit assignment due at the beginning of class tomorrow. Okay, if you have any questions, please ask Ms. Gutierrez. She can help you. I hope you guys have a great Monday, and I will see you tomorrow.